Hello YouTube, today at powerjackrepair.org we got a CyberpowerPC motherboard from the CyberpowerPC. The motherboard number is right here. I'm not sure what I'm not sure exactly which CyberpowerPC it is from, but CyberpowerPC is also ClevoPC, also Sager. So if you have this motherboard, this is probably your problem. And the problem is pretty obvious here. Usually on those guys, the center pin breaks when you wiggle it around. But if I want to make this video, is this. For this particular one, the problem is something different. This is one of the first times I see it. And the reason it's different is that when we plug in this guy, it's just a regular plug. That's a voltmeter, obviously. That's a ground. And we're just gonna put the voltage through. Nothing here. And we get here. Well, you know what? I was expecting a different outcome. Right, you see this should be solid, all right, but kind of moves around. This one doesn't conduct anything, that's the plus, that's my assumption. It goes here someplace, you see? Well, so that's negative and a plus. Yeah, no, I mean, this thing is also broke, the pin in the back. Now, what I was expecting to see is just by looking at the board, I saw that on the other side, we got a huge problem. Let me show it to you under the microscope. All right, let's take a look a bit closer. You see what you see here. What you see here is that's the jack. That's the plus right here, which is soldered fine. That's one of the minuses, which doesn't work once you plug in the plug. And you see this minus right here? This shouldn't be like that. So that means that there was so much amperage going through that the minus itself got melted, you see? And it got separated from the motherboard itself. This is what I was trying to point out. But here we're probably gonna have a plus, not an ideal shape, but this is the guy why I wanted to show you what the problem is right here. Now, it's probably the plug broke right there. Probably the plug broke, or you see that crack right here, this rim. So this guy is separated from this guy. This should be one piece. And when I put this guy inside, I can technically, you see, the whole thing moves, the whole jack moves, but this guy doesn't move. And that means that this is where the actual problem at. And this is the secondary problem right here. But my guess, this has started to happen and then this guy went. So this one requires the whole new jack for sure. You can't just add solder here and be done with it. This requires that you replace the whole piece because this is part of the jack. This is part of this jack right here, part of the pin. And again, you see how it broke? And sometimes when you push it upwards, it would make contact because of the blackness right there, you see? That contact would make a spark, and that's the reason why it would work sometimes. So let's fix it up. Alrighty. So I insulated the surrounding area with some thermal tape. This is a bit extreme thermal tape. You don't really need to use that. I use that because that's me. It's kind of an overkill, but link in the description. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna apply some hot air to the area, but first we're gonna add some flux, and then we're gonna add some extra solder, which is leaded base solder. The leaded base solder gonna mix with the unleaded base solder, and we're gonna desolder this whole thing from the motherboard. Alrighty. And now we're just gonna desolder this piece that did break off in the back of the jack. Alright. Now we can easily remove the insulation. We can shut down the hot air station. Alright, the hot air station is shut down. Insulation is removed. And now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna desolder the holes one by one. Even though it's better to do it while the hot air station is still on. Yeah, I think I still need to use the hot air station. Oh, this one turned out to be fine. This is a desoldering wick. You use the desoldering wick to remove all of the solder from the motherboard. Alrighty. Looks good. Alrighty. Alright, so here what we want to do is add some plugs to this side and desolder the. What we want to do is we make it a bit smaller. Alright, and we're just gonna desolder it right here. Alrighty. It helps to have a much thicker iron to do the desoldering jobs, but I use this particular iron for soldering and desoldering. Takes a bit longer time to desolder, but it's not too big, not too small, it's just perfect size. After 20 plus years in business, we pretty much decided to do everything with one iron. Alright. I mean, I got a whole bunch of other ones here. Here, let me show you. This one is for the micro soldering work, but that requires a different station, which is not on at this time. Anyways, I can see that the two pins right there are not exactly well desoldered, so I'm just gonna put some flux on top of those. All right. Okay. Okay, let's find the new connector. Here we got a brand new connector. You see that rear center pin is intact. And this one rear pin, you see how it's broken right here. And that's the old pin right there, right here. Let's try and position this guy in and see if it's gonna fit. Yep, it fits fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some solder to the top to fixate it in place. Okay. Alrighty, and here we got, flip it over, add some flux. I like to use a lot of flux because it's not cheap, but I got a really good ventilation here, so I can use it. I mean, it's toxic, but I can use it as much as I want, it all goes to the outside. So here. The fumes themselves are toxic. So here. Like that. Like that. Alright, so what I'm doing here, I'm just gonna jam those two together so that they would have more surface area to conduct the negative part of the electricity. Once those two are jammed, I wanna do some soldering on the top as well, in the back of the connector, and I will show you in a second the final result. Because this guy needs to be soldered on the top, the positive pin needs to be soldered on the top and on the bottom as well. So like that. Good job. Good job. Excellent. Alrighty. Alright, let's clean this guy up. Alright, let's clean up this area as well. This is 99% ISP. There is no water in it. So we can clean it as much as we want. And that's how you replace the connector. And the motherboard. We got connectors in stock for all of them. So if you're not going to be able to find the connector for your specific laptop make and model, you can always email us from the website. We're gonna match it up. Don't worry about it. Okay, good job. Excellent. Excellent. All right, as you can see how the soldering joints are well soldered on the top right here. All right, let's check the bottom side. And the bottom is extremely well soldered, and that's the joint I made so that the negative would be on both of the sides. So even if this part gets desoldered again, this part gonna still conduct the electricity from here to here. And they are well soldered on the top as well. Again, those guys are not made to handle so much amperage, and you need something like this, like a handmade job to make it all good. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and you guys have a good day. Thanks. Bye.